I don't know
And then we'll get
if I've actually ever rated a podcast before. Actually, I know I have rated one because I listened to one and it was garbage, and I was like, I don't ever want this to show up on my stupid Spotify again. And so I rated it 1 star, deleted all the downloads. That shit still shows up in my you should check these out. There's a new episode of this one that I hate. I listen to a bunch of podcasts. I'm the only one that it's oh yeah, listen to this one again. I'm God damn it, I already said this shit sucked.
Yeah, this is one of my frustrations with that podcast app is why can't you tell it, take me off of this, stop recommending this. I don't understand.
Yeah. I've dug into it before on Spotify, and there is no way to change the recommended shit. I've tried listening to a ton of other stuff, so that it's there's more recent things that I've been into or whatever that I've listened to a bunch of episodes of. So, but no, you can't. You can't change it. At least on Spotify.
I got the same problems because I do Apple, but this up next, I promise you, when I finish this one, this is not the one that's going to start. It jumps to a random one. Things that you might like. I've checked out many of those. I've decided, no, I'm not so crazy about them. They keep showing up. There's no way to turn it off.
Right.
And it gives me recommendations for random crap.
I hate that when I want you to give me recommendations. HBO Max, they have me on lock on what I will like. They're you like this stuff? Here's this other stuff. And I'm you're right every single time. Every time. I mean, my tastes are murder and naked people. So, naked crimes comes up all the time. I'm I love this. This is the perfect fusion of all of my likes. The Venn diagram, they've got it figured out. But for podcasts, no.
These platforms continuing to recommend podcasts that people hate, that is our key to success. This is Robert. That's terrible music for us, but we gotta find better music. But this is Robert and Kalyn.
Get rich.
I don't know. I picked one off the list. I didn't even listen to it. We'll get to the name of the show pretty soon. Robert and Kalyn Get Rich. This is a podcast about money and life. I'm your host, Robert Kimmel. This is my sister, Kalyn Kimmel, also a host. I don't mean to denigrate her. We talk about money and life and whatever we decide we want to talk about every week. And all while trying to get rich. But one thing that we never do, never, is provide investing advice. Whatever it is we say we're going to do not do that. And one place to really start with that is, how hard we were thinking about investing in Spirit Airlines, reinvesting last. I was so close on pulling the trigger every single day this week.
You said they had the meeting today, right?
Yes. The earnings came out today and the earnings conference call came out. So let's see what happened to Spirit Airlines.
We made back all our money and then some.
Oh, we crushed it today. Crushed it. Spirit Airlines down 10% today. $3.33. It's right at 3 1/3.
Jeez.
Yeah, the street did not like what they had to say. I listened in a little bit. You don't get too much out of that stuff. They don't usually tell too much. But I think the big thing that the street was unhappy about was that evidently a lot of planes are going to be grounded because of this Pratt & Whitney engine issue. And they're getting some compensation from that, from Pratt & Whitney, but evidently not enough. So the next couple of quarters of revenue are looking really tough. But they did talk about all their cost changes, the restructuring, the working on the debt. And so at least, here it goes. It's going even lower. Look at that. 33 1/3. We're trending in the wrong direction. I quickly read an analyst statement. And one thing they did say is that at least bankruptcy is looking increasingly remote. So, I mean, this is a magic number. If you triple this, you get 10, right? So we would get back to $10 if somehow we tripled, which is roughly the book value. Like I said, it's trading at a third of book value. So anyway, our Spirit Airlines travails continue, unfortunately.
Look, so I guess that it's good that we didn't buy last week because it was at $380 or something, right?
Yeah. Here's the 5-day.
Great looking chart.
Yeah, exactly. Well, great looking chart. I mean, here's where we're like, oh, maybe we should invest. Maybe we should. No. The great news is that it's not in the Get Rich portfolio. And the Get Rich portfolio is hanging in there, man. We're up 2% today. And
what's
we are up. The first one?
top one?
Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment.
Yeah, you said that they had a great day last week.
Yeah, up 25%. That has basically offset our Reddit. By the way, Reddit's having a great day for reasons I don't know why, but it's only down to losing about 25%. So Chicken Soup Reddit's up 25, Reddit down 25-ish.
Wow, what Chicken Soup for the Soul? Look out!
Yeah. That was our day trading candidate, as you recall. We could have made 25. It's because they've got such solid plans to turn Redbox around, probably.
It's because they're very transparent with how they're doing it. And their reporting's back to the SEC. They're like, we don't know if this company is viable at all. And people are like, buy.
Yeah, exactly. Here's how, if instead we had invested in the S&P 500 these 3 times, we would be up 0.25%. So we're down 2% or so with a real dog of Reddit. Reddit's really dragging us down. I mean, we're not doing too bad, I don't think. So
yeah. Man,
which is our goal isn't to do too bad. Our goal is to get rich, but
right. That's true. Yeah, I would never have predicted the Chicken Soup for the Soul spike they've got going. I mean, my theory had been that I should just stick with my feelsies and not with any real, like that. Like Netflix, I love it. Let's buy that, and that did great. And I was like, man, I should have bought Reddit. But now I'm like, maybe these feelsies are not so good at telling me what I should buy. Maybe I should revise this, because I would have thrown tons of money at Reddit had I known.
When you go to play blackjack at the casino, you got to play your feelsies, right? You're like, I know a 7's coming. I know it.
I know. Split these. I don't know what you don't split. 4s. Split these 4s.
Yes. Split the 4s. Split the 8s. Or you're always supposed to split 8s.
I've got good feelings. All my feelsies are telling me that shit's gonna go right now.
I got a great feeling about this one. Well, no, I disagree with your thesis, because I mean, Chicken Soup for the Soul proffers in such trade, right? They're all about the feelsies, right? They make that's chicken soup for your soul. It makes you all warm and fuzzy.
Right,
so.
and Redbox for when you're like, I really want a movie, but I don't want to pick one on the TV. I'm at the grocery store and I really want a movie.
I'm at CVS. And,
I really want one though. It's so good. I want to go use a box that some homeless man's been sheltering himself under. That's what I really want, deep down. Yeah, that's right.
I think I have a DVD player somewhere in the house. And I always wanted to see Terminator 7 or the Avatar.
Right.
I'm value conscious.
Right. Price conscious consumer. That's me. I want one. Will I remember to bring it back? Who knows? Maybe I'm going to own this movie for the low price of $50 after I've kept it for a year.
Forget to return it. Exactly.
Right.
Or the box breaks.
Yeah.
So I wanted to follow up on a couple other things from last time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see what's the story with Mountain Dew Spark Zero Sugar near me. And here is my local Walmart. And
I'm telling you, you should buy them out. Like for $7.50, which in your area is not that bad.
Well, for a while, it was running like a promo, and it was $2 off, and it was $5.50, which is high still, but not outrageous.
I would do that in a heartbeat. Yeah.
So I have something to show you.
Yay!
So I ordered it. Okay, so this is what we got to figure out. My next piece of homework is how much does it cost to ship this? Because
a fortune.
It weighs a ton.
Fortune. I'm telling you, it's going to be ridiculous. Like, I sent Cody that present once, and I probably spent in total $20 or something on this gift. It was a very cuckoo gift because I'm a cuckoo aunt, and so it like had an axe throwing kit and a bunch of mangoes and whatever. But it was a big box, and I think it cost me like $40 to ship that thing. And I was like, well, whatever. It's done now. I mean, I wanted to get there, but it seems ridiculous to me to spend twice as much on shipping as I'm spending on the product itself, especially when I could probably just order you guys some mangoes from Amazon and all of that. Like, had 10 packages from Amazon come for free. But yeah, but in terms of how much it would cost to get it from Cleveland to Houston, and I think my best bet would be to travel with a couple of empty suitcases and just fly back. Pay the $50 or whatever free.
The $50 case fee.
Right, exactly. Well, but TBD.
Well, if we're going to fill a suitcase, the other one we want to think about filling a suitcase with was the bark. So I tried the same basic search, and Meyer has barks, 0 sugar for $7.79. But what's the difference between that?
I don't know what the difference between diet and 0 sugar is, but the 0 sugar is the one that I was drinking. So that's
the white is diet and 0 sugar. I think the best deal we can get on that is either this 48 pack for $60, which is still over $1 a can, or this. Yeah. Well, this one's better. Walmart 48 for $55, and I'm sure you pay for shipping too, I would think.
So that's about what I see in Houston. But I bought that there. I think it was at Dave's. I can't remember. It was right. Dave's, or I can't think of it. Stevens or something like that. There's some weird discounts. You got the weirdest grocery stores there. I love it. It wasn't at Mark's. I know that. It wasn't at Mark's, sadly. My very, very number one favorite store that I really hope wants to sponsor our podcast, because I will do nothing but sing their praises. You want used pins, used promotional pins, or like stuff from IKEA? You never know. Or tire chains and starfruit. Mark's is the place.
Many, many listeners here will have no idea what Mark's is.
That's a sad thing, and I want that to change. Mark's is the best store in all of Cleveland, for sure. I've been to many of them. I don't know how many there are. Like 20, like a lot in the Cleveland area. But
there are lots.
They are making their mark on Cleveland, for sure. Like, whenever I was traveling there for work, I'd make it a point to go to a different Mark's every day. So after work, I'd just get in my car and drive like 30 minutes to Euclid Heights or Sandusky or whatever, and check out. Always worth it. Never disappointing.
Some of these Marks, you got to like take an acid bath after you visit them. They're just so disgusting. But
that's true.
They range they range from tolerable to absolutely disgusting.
And I love all of them. I think they're the best.
We love you, Mark Glassman. Please sponsor our show.
Come on, we'll put an ad right here. We'll be like, do you have some random ass need plus some groceries you want for cheap? Mark's. Like, or whatever you want me to say.
Exactly.
Like, I've got you.
You're our man.
I am going to be
We're your man and woman. To Mountain Dew?
Yeah, I will be writing my email to Mountain Dew. I'm going to include a, like, by the way, if you're looking for a podcast to sponsor, we happily promote your product, so long as you bring it fucking back. If you don't, then forget this. I don't even want your sponsorship.
Okay, next agenda item is Eagle Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing great.
All right. So I went to their investor relations, and I went to go try to find their annual report, and they didn't have an annual report. And so I was like, all right, how about a quarterly report? Well, they didn't have the quarterly report. So I go back even further. So the latest news is like 3 quarters old right now, the latest reports. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And so I never do this. Like, you know how there's like 1 million filings on these investor relations pages? There's numbers you never heard of. There's the insider trading, and then there's this and that. Anyway, a lot of them are 8Ks, which I don't even know what an 8K means. Like something that's non-financial going on or whatever. So on April 8th, Eagle Pharmaceuticals received a notice from NASDAQ that they are going to be delisted for their failure to timely file the annual report. And they had already gotten a notice on November 27th that they got a delinquency notification from the listing that they didn't file their quarterly report.
What do we care?
Yeah. Oh, send me all the notices you want, NASDAQ. Come and get it.
No.
But, there's like a theme, in these companies we're looking at, because Chicken Soup for the Soul Enterprises was at risk of being delisted for various reasons, right?
Not anymore, I bet. Now they're flying off the shelf, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Hopefully that's going to be the story with Eagle Pharmaceuticals.
We just have an amazing track record of picking. I've never looked at stocks that are at risk of being delisted, and here in 2 weeks, we found 2 stocks that list of being delisted. Yeah. So if this is our secret to getting rich, Kalyn, is find the stocks at risk of getting delisted. So I did find, all right, that old 10Q, right? The quarterly report. This is one for the quarter ending June of 2023. Like, it's damn near a year. But this is the newest financial information that they have. So here's revenues in June 2022, 6 months, $90 million. June 2023, $130 million. That's not good. And they went from net income of 35 million to net income of 11 million. So, in bad sequence event. I think what's basically going on is they've discontinued certain drugs. Maybe they've come off label, or the generics have come in, and so they've stopped offering some drugs. And I think others have just sort of gotten beat out of the market. Or they also have this thing where they license drugs from other pharmaceutical companies, and I think some of those licenses and those contracts have come to an end. I always like to look at, what are the insiders doing too? If the board members and the CEO and stuff are busy investing in the company, that's a good indicator things might be turning around. Which I saw some of that with Spirit Airlines, which is encouraging. Here, they canned their CEO, and now they have an interim CEO. So the chairman of the board has stepped in as the interim CEO, and he's already got a day job. He's CEO of something else too. So anyway. Yeah. It didn't say they canned him. It said he resigned or retired to go pursue other things or something. But
suddenly or something, yeah.
But I decided just this afternoon to retire.
Yeah, right. That happened when I was at Optum. One of the leaders of my team retired suddenly. She decided yesterday to retire today. It's oh, okay, did she? She was like, been thinking about this whole retirement thing, and I think I'm going to start that tomorrow. Done. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's how it works at all. I don't think these guys ever retire. You're in that CEO job and you got all your stock options and whatever else. You're never retiring voluntarily. Yeah, it's kind of like politicians, right? They're not out until they die or somebody forces them out. Anyhow. Did you have any agenda items or any follow-ups from last time?
So I started looking into the mergers and acquisitions from the mid-90s, but I don't know where to look so much that I couldn't find anything obvious. So the other thing I was going to look into was Crackle, which I cannot get my Fire Stick to recommend shit to me on Crackle. I don't know why. They're not about that recommendation. So I went to, of course, my source of all things true, Reddit, and Reddit has not talked about Crackle in 9 years. There have been almost 0 posts about Reddit in the past decade. So I'm is Crackle even still around? There were people that were complaining about too many commercials and things like that. There's some subreddit that was called Cut the Cord or whatever, people trying to get away from having all the subscriptions and things, and they're how's Crackle? And people are it sucks. So
so at least 9 years ago it sucked.
Right, 9 years ago it sucked, which is why naturally this week's Chicken Soup for the Soul stock just to the moon, because that's what makes sense.
It hit its 9-month anniversary of sucking.
Right, of people being this is the worst. There's commercials every 5 minutes.
So is it a step up to go from people on Reddit panning you and saying you're terrible to not discussing you at all? Which is worse if you're running a business?
I don't know. I'm not sure. You become so irrelevant that no one talks about you anymore. Nobody cares at all, has any awareness. When I go to popular, on Crackle site, they're on Crackle, watch Hollywood movies for free, uncut and unedited. And I'm unedited and uncut movies? Like, don't they have like 30 hours of movie that?
No, they mean the theatrical release is what they mean. I mean, they're not shortening them, to exactly 2 hours or 90 minutes or whatever. Oh, okay. That's what they're talking about.
Apparently, they also are talking about making their own content. I don't know if something's happened with that, but there was talk of it.
I can't wait for that. The world has been waiting.
You have to sit it through twice as much time of commercials than you actually see of show, but and the streaming not great. They don't follow up with the next episode always. They just jump to something else, which I've seen on a couple of streaming platforms where they're just like, what do you want to watch next? How about Judge Judy? And it's like, what? Why did you pick that? I want to see episode 2 of this show about,
the thing I just watched. Episode 1 of. I would like to see episode 2.
Home decor show. Yeah, I'm watching a home decor show. Really want to check into seeing what next episode is, and you're like, we want Judy Justice for you. Judy Justice, that's what's coming. So you can see like the new revamped Judge Judy. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll watch that.
So just to clarify, you have not been able to even access Crackle. You've only been able to read reviews of it.
I have the app downloaded now on my Fire Stick, but no matter what I'm looking for, that is never the recommended platform ever on Fire Stick. So I'd have to go in, and then it's just here's what's playing live, and I'm like, I don't even know why these things have live TV. What does that mean? It's not live. It's just some random show that they picked to play right now. They're like, you want to jump into this Judy Justice, Judge Judy episode midway? Okay. And then it's a commercial.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I want to see. What happened? What does Judge Judy say? She's going to say something sassy. I know it.
It has to recommend it for you to even access it, huh?
Well, I can go into the app, but I couldn't figure, one more week is what I need for this one. I thought I would just be able to search for stuff. Usually it'll give me all the different platforms. Sometimes I've got a list of 20 things long of how I can access any given show, right? If I'm I want to see Antiques Roadshow or whatever. It's you want to watch that on BritBox, or do you want to watch it on PBS, or do you want to watch it on this thing, or you want to watch it on this or this or this? There's 47 seasons of it. Not joking. True story for Antiques Roadshow. Who knew that show was doing that well? 47 seasons, really? Jeez. Yeah.
Antiques Roadshow is crushing it.
Have we not seen all the antiques in all of freaking England now? Jesus. How much more can there be?
We're in Asheville, North Carolina, and we're
right. Yeah, they come to America. That's true. But still, 47 seasons. Not all available on any given one platform. So I toggled through all the different options, and that one definitely not on Crackle. Maybe I'll search for Judy Justice and see, because that seemed like they have that live. So
I challenge you to an Antiques Roadshow marathon where you watch every episode of
every episode. Yeah, I do that with myself for real though. I'll be like, okay, well, there are 18 seasons of The Murderer Next Door. Let's do this. I want to see all of them. And so I'll watch all of it. Right? Even though it gets so formulaic and the stories get so bad. After a while, they're just really stretching. They're like, this guy randomly murdered one dude. They're like, I always knew he was evil. And you're like, that's not even bad. This was about serial killers before. People killed 47 people. Now we got this one dude who accidentally killed someone. You're like, I always knew. Whatever. But I'll push through the pain. So I can do it with the Antiques Roadshow.
I don't know. I can see why you're not particularly worried about getting a job when you have this life work to fulfill.
Well, right. Yeah. I mean, I did just wake up before this. Good morning, everyone. It's only noon Eastern, it's a couple hours early for me. I've been getting up at 2, 3. Yesterday, I think it was 4:30 before I finally managed to get out of bed. But we got to get rich.
Mountain Dew, early bird gets the worm. That's our motto.
That's right.
Work.
That's right. Early bird. My brother wants to meet at 11 a.m. my time. I will be up at 11:02.
With bells on. You got it.
That's right. No makeup. I'm going for real here. That's why I'm not wearing any makeup.
Any more homework complete from last episode?
Well, I have the Mountain Dew email, and I've got the draft, but it's just a PepsiCo, which pisses me off because I don't want to write to PepsiCo. I don't like PepsiCo. I like Mountain Dew, and I thought they were separate. I thought they were two different entities. Makes me very
I think you should
disappointed.
address it to Mountain Dew. You should literally be like, "Dear Mountain Dew."
Oh no, I plan to. I'm not gonna be like, I'm not talking to you, Pepsi. You go do your thing with your terrible version of Coke, and I'm gonna talk to Mountain Dew here, who's got rock solid products. One of my friends drank one of my major melon whatever business that I have. The other one, he was like, "This is good," and I'm like, "That shit is gross." But like my brother really likes Mountain Dew, like your regular turbo green shit that I feel like your pee must come out weird colored when you drink it, but maybe not. And I am all about this, all about it.
Spark
so what
Zero.
the fuck?
I like the
Spark
diet.
Zero.
I do Diet Mountain Dew. That's a fact. It's great. Well, do you want to read your draft email to PepsiCo/Mountain Dew?
Dearest Mountain Dew Spark Zero makers.
Yep.
I
So far, so good. I like what I'm hearing.
Why have you forsaken me? Let's see. No, I don't want to pull it up. But,
okay, you don't have to if you don't want to.
I'll share with everybody. We'll share a link to the draft in our show notes.
All right.
But
fair enough.
Yeah, I'll start a petition. Maybe we should start a petition with the episode.
Yeah.
Petition Spark Zero. Continue your service to Houston, the broader Houston market. Damn it. Why is this available in Cleveland? I don't understand it.
When our 7 listeners get behind this, I mean, Mountain Dew won't know what hit them.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
Mom, Dad,
Mom,
Andrea.
And you think any of them? You think Mom's going to be bothered to sign a petition about Mountain Dew? I don't think so.
Well, she'll be like, I want to support my children. She'll be like, the one I love, is on there, Robert, and he seems on board for this.
She'll sign it out of pity for you.
Not a pity, no, for you. She'll be like, Robert has to do this shit with Kalyn, which sucks, clearly. But I'd hurt my wrist last week. It's finally getting better, but I had a day where I had a total meltdown on Thursday.
Yeah,
and so I started texting Mom because that's. This is often what I do when I'm having a real meltdown. I let our mother know about it, which is fun because I don't filter at all. So I was like, I can't do anything. Blah, blah. And then she's like, we'll come and help. And I'm like, why can't you do anything by yourself? You always do things together. Just forget it. Blah, blah, blah. Why didn't you abort me? Like I said that a couple of times.
Wow.
I know. She was like, I'm going to not listen to that. Her response back after what I was like, just forget it. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I was like, I can hardly eat anything, blah, blah, blah. Forget it. I'm such a burden. Good night. And she's like, I would think you'd be learning some tricks with your left hand. Are you losing any weight? Plan to come this way tomorrow. Did your power go off today? I was at TJ Maxx and the whole center had the power go out. And I'm like, I just had said, the last text was like, you should have aborted me. So... yeah, that's our mom.
Warm and fuzzy. She always has been.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not addressing that. Oh, yeah. Before that, I was like, I'm so lonely. I can't eat anything with this stupid hand. I can't do anything. I hate my life. Good night. I'm sorry I'm such a burden. You should have aborted me. Would think you'd be learning some tricks with your left hand. I've been learning some tricks. Like, I'm juggling with this hand, but, this one, just dead weight. Yeah. You losing any weight? I'm like, thanks for the, she's like, it's kind of good that you're starving because, you're fat. So.
Well, and, of course, offline, then she'll turn around and go call Andrea, and they'll all get in a tizzy. And then they'll ask my advice, and I'm like... What can I do?
She's fine. You forget it.
It comes in waves. It comes and goes, So.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah. Right. Hopefully, I don't think that they ended up calling Andrea because ultimately, this ended with I agreed to let them come over and pick me up and take me to their house.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't use my hand at all, so I couldn't open a bottle of Tylenol. This has been going on all day, and when you feel like shit. It's worse when you're alone. You're just now I have no one to even say hey, you feeling okay? Whatever. So they came and picked me up. But they keep their house at 85 degrees or whatever. And so I agreed to stay the night there. And then at midnight, I was so hot. I was like, I want to fucking Uber home, or should I just take one of their cars?
Left-handed. That's my new trick. My new trick is driving left-handed.
Yeah, that's right. I steal cars now. Your cars, but like
gear shift over here.
Yeah,
left-handed.
That's right. Yeah, I've got 2 feet. I got some knees I can use on the steering wheel, you know. But I managed to make myself go to sleep, and then in the morning I came downstairs all in a huff. And I was like, "What temperature is it?" And Dad's like, "What's going on?" Like, so yeah, good time.
Dad's even better at dealing with that stuff than Mom is. I mean, he's kind of like me, right? Like, I don't know what to do or say. I don't have emotions.
My favorite thing that Dad does now this is my very fucking favorite thing, and he does it all the time, at least with me. Like, if I'm talking about something, I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, I was thinking about going on a trip to blah 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 blah." He'll go, "Anyways, so I was on like," it's like
another thing you were talking about.
He's just like, "I'm done listening to you talk about whatever that bullshit was. Like, now I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about." So, anyways,
crazy.
Love you, Mom and Dad. Thank you for not aborting me and signing a petition to Mountain Dew. Appreciate your viewership. Yeah.
So we got a couple of choices for the next segment.
I did double my money last night. I got $20 worth of $3 scratchers, $21 worth of $3 scratchers, and I made $40. So,
wow,
getting rich.
Nice return on that.
Scratcher at a time. One scratcher at a time.
$3 scratch at a time.
Yeah. So one was a $20 winner, one was a $15 winner, and then I got a couple $3 winners. Not bad for 7 tickets.
All right. Do you wanna talk one of our topics or
uranium?
Or all right, uranium.
Yeah.
All right, uranium. So uranium is my other cowboy investment besides Spirit Airlines. The way I work, and I've heard financial advisors recommend this, is most, like 99, 95 at least % of my investments are in, index funds like S&P 500 and stuff. So I keenly watch that. Yeah. But then I take a small manageable portion, which is what I put into such amazing investments as Spirit Airlines and so on. But the one I heard about that I got really excited about, this is like my highest conviction position, they would say, right, is uranium. And the basic story with uranium is it's a supply and demand thing. So if you look here, basically the world is producing like 140 million pounds of uranium a year out of the mines, and it's using like 180 million pounds. And the amount that it's using is going to grow to like 200 plus, Now, they've made up for the gap in the past they turned nuclear weapons, especially out of Russia, they turned nuclear weapons into uranium that they could use for nuclear power. But that's sort of run out. And so now it's just like, what can they produce out of the mines? And demand is going crazy. And basically the whole world has decided, all right, again, nuclear power is okay. They've had conferences and stuff. They've had the UN conference on climate change and things like that. And the world has put out there this enormous growth target for uranium. So there's something like 60 new uranium reactors being built in the world right now out of 400 or something existing. So a very meaningful increase. They're extending the life of reactors. They're instituting the reactors that they've shut down. And all of those, you need a load in of supply. If you were like, okay, here's a reactor that we were going to shut down, and then all of a sudden you're like, no, we changed our mind, we're not shutting it down. Well, you like ran down your inventory, right? You got to rebuy inventory. So bottom line is, on a pure supply demand, it should look really good. To produce more supply is like way easier said than done. It takes like 10 years to get a mine online. These the existing mines, the biggest in the world is called Kazatomprom, and like they keep saying they're going to expand their production by 2 or 3 or 10 million pounds, and they keep missing their targets. So I don't even know what the bear case is. It's like the bear case is there's another accident or something, and all of a sudden everybody changes their mind again. Or some technology comes online way faster than we think it is, or China has been stockpiling uranium for their own use, and for whatever reason they decided that they're going to dump it or flood the market. But I don't know why they would do that. I mean, it's not like the Chinese government needs a whole bunch of money. You know, I don't know. It's the best way to look at this. I'm in this fund, which they own physical uranium. So this has been the price of uranium over the past 5 years. In the last year, from 2023, it went from, I don't know, what's this average? You know, $12 to 22, 23. Yeah. So it's doubled. You know, if you go back further, I mean, it's done even better. Uranium's up something like 4 or 5 times over the past 10 years. I don't know where the balance point is, but it should go even higher. It just sort of hasn't. It's like ever since I invested in it, which maybe isn't the 3-month point, you know, it's looked something like this, right? Which I don't remember the exact day I put into uranium, but anyway, it's kind of bounced around up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the catalyst is going to be, but I hope there is a catalyst at some point where this thing breaks out and the uranium price triples or quadruples and I crush it.
This brings me back to, I feel like a question that I have in general. How long do you think it should take, versus how long do you think you should? This is a really good question. I'm glad that I'm, restating it 27 times because it's going to be super clear. So in the thing between like hold forever and day trader, like where do you feel like your investments in general should be? Right? Between I trade every day, all day long, and I never sell anything, right? I'm going to die with all of my stocks in place, no matter how low they go. Where are you? Like, because you bought like 3 months ago, you're a little irked that it hasn't gone up, but so that's longer than a day trader.
This one, I could envision holding this for like a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
So 3 years from now, like the price hasn't budged and the supply demand picture looks the same and all this, I might be sitting here going, God, is this thing like, and then, what'll happen the day after I sell it, it'll triple, like, right? Whoop.
Right, of course. Yeah.
Parabolic, as they say. And 3 years and 1 day from now, this price will go parabolic.
Yeah. The overall trend it looks pretty positive. I mean, if you look at this chart that you got up right now, in 2022, that's kind of a rough time. But just before that, 2021 to 2022, to where it is now, is a pretty nice little plant,
This is 2011. So you can see where it could go to based on where it's been in the past when they had other sort of supply and demand issues back here. So, I mean, it's got a lot of room to run. Obviously, I'd love for it to.
But yeah, that's like a 10-year mark. The recent rise is since like 2020. Like it was pretty flat for 2017 to 2020. So you got a while to go on.
I guess. I mean, look how fast it dropped. It could, presumably it could rise. Things do spike,
I don't
obviously.
see why not.
It's got to grow faster than this, or else I might as well have been in the S&P 500, if I just wanted a gradual rise,
Yeah.
So here I am, 3% today, but I have days where I'm down 3%, days where I'm up 4%, and I'm down 2%, and it's just been volatile as hell.
Yeah, this is the area that I'm always. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't know when to sell. I never want to sell.
Well, guys like Warren Buffett, right? I mean, he holds on to things a long time, but he doesn't hold on to them forever. But he certainly having a 20-year position, he easily, like, I think he's been in Apple for 30 years or something like that.
Right. Did I send you that infographic? Man, that's like awesome. My favorite. That subreddit, and I've got one that I'm going to try to find for you to send you again, since we were talking about uranium, about nuclear arms holdings by country. It's really great, like, visualization of how many nuclear arms everybody has. I'll see if I can't find it. I'm sure I can, because Reddit knows me so well. So you said Russia had done some of this, using their nuclear arms for getting their supply that way. Is there talk of that here? Because I think we're one of the biggest, if I remember the infographic correctly, we have a lot of nuclear arms, comparatively speaking, to other countries.
Yeah. Like compared to all the countries put together, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think they did. I think they did some of that, but I don't think there's any plans to do that here in the U.S.
Yeah. I don't know how public the government would be about that. Like we're planning on getting rid of some of these things. Like I don't know.
No, it was really. It was literally called the. What was it called? Damn! It was like the this to that program. The guns to gems.
Guns to power.
Guns to power. Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah. It was like the boom to something. Anyway, I don't know what I'll go
The
look it
boom
up.
chits heat, the working heat. That's like right up my alley, though, for sure. Something that I could probably plan to hold on to for a while, like set it and forget it.
Well,
that's what I like.
The thing with this one is I can get it. It's like, so many things we've looked at and we're like, should we invest? I don't know. Is it going up? I don't know. Here it's supply is more than demand, or demand is more than supply. Right. The price should go up. It's like almost algebraic, mathematical, and I don't understand it all. In my head, the price should just like jump up, and it's already done some increasing, so I'm waiting it out. But I mean, in the meantime, the money in the S&P probably will outperform it.
Well, which is they're only beating us by a little bit these days. The S&P for the Kalyn and Robert Get Rich portfolio.
That's right.
Thank God we invested in that chicken soup for the soul, or we'd be really just getting trounced by the S&P.
When we start a hedge fund and we start raising investors, that'll be our sell line.
That's our flagship.
Our motto will be like, we're only being kind of beaten by the S&P,
Yeah, they only got a couple points on us.
We're only a couple points.
Your money's pretty much safe. Like, you'll lose a little bit slower.
I mean, it's like, it's wicked risky because we only have 3 positions.
Who would have thought? Maybe we should do Eagle Pharmaceuticals and see if that crazy-ass ship, like, maybe we'll hit 2 running, where it's like, this one, we're like, why would this company do well? They seem like they're gonna fucking bottom out in no time. Like, Chicken Soup for the Soul's like, we are not a viable company. That's TBD. If we'll even make money, or if we're gonna just have to break apart this company piece by piece. 25% increase.
Here's a company that can't even file their annual reports and their quarterly reports. They're not even going to get delisted because they don't make enough money. They're going to get delisted because they...
Because they're just like, we're not doing that shit. You trying to give me an assignment? I'm not doing it. I've got to make pharmaceuticals here.
I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm making farm drugs over here. Like, geez, get off my ass, NASDAQ. Like,
the pill machine is not going to clean itself. Think about all the paperwork I gotta fill out for the
pharmacists. They don't know. We just have a bunch of chemists over here, like mixing stuff up and whatever. And they're like, I don't know what they're talking about. Whatever. What's that? Like with their beakers and their goggles, like, huh? Like, leave us alone, NASDAQ and SEC. Who are those people? Like,
I got rubber gloves on.
Whatever.
I can't even type with these
coats, white crazy hair. They're like, huh? I wish I had a beaker right now. I think I have it. Hang on. They're like, what? Wait, I'm boiling the... What do you mean we have to file a form to the SEC? What does that even mean? Like, These were another Halloween purchase, but I just keep flowers in them. I think it's kind of...
Okay, got it.
Like, that's why I have this.
Makes sense to me.
I'm not actually making drugs here.
All right, our next segment is called What the Hell is in Kalyn's Portfolio?
Oh, yeah.
So
I thought you were going to say apartment. I'm just like showing off random objects in my apartment. Like, I've got a beaker.
Right. Well, it is reminiscent of your portfolio. I've got a random assortment of bric-a-brac. Yeah.
Random shit that I'm like, this is awesome. I have a child's gas mask from World War II. I've got a beaker. I do.
So what's another holding you have that's crushing it one way or another, or you can't remember what it is, or...
That's about half of them. Beaker.
Beaker, what are you invested in?
I do like the idea of all these chemists like just sitting around making stuff and being like, what does that even mean? What are we filing? Who's NASDAQ? If I knew elements better, I'd like try to figure out.
All these chemicals.
Like, carbon? What is SEC?
They're like silicon.
All these chemicals. Yeah. What's E?
Nothing, I don't
Is there an E?
That's like Einstein.
Yeah, what's SE? SE is what I was trying to think of.
Selenium, molybdenum, solarium.
Yeah. Right. Selenium carbon. That's what SEC is. They can figure out NASDAQ.
Sodium? Sodium, silicon, D. I don't know. Q. We're out of luck. Yeah.
No, there's stuff that starts with Q. I think we should go with Eagle Pharmaceuticals. I mean,
$1,000 into Eagle Pharmaceuticals.
Or we can do your uranium.
I don't know. I mean, between the thesis of like supply and demand, or like me, I think we should invest in me.
So, okay, I've got my Robinhood open. This is great. I don't remember what most of these are. They also just give you a share if you put in money to some of these things. So I've got some that they're like, you gained $1.92, and I'm like, that's because that stock is only worth $1.92, and you gave it to me for free. Yeah, that's exactly what the case is with this one. Okay, this is my Therapeutics MD. This was one that they gave me for free. Okay.
Okay.
Can you see this?
Yeah, I can.
That's it. Well, that's today's, right? So they're like, you gained $1.92. That's how much the stock is worth. Look at the 3-month chart. This is fun.
Oh, no wonder they.
I'm like, thanks for the free share. I love that. Like,
it used to be worth $10.
You know, that spike is from when they started giving the shares away. And then Robinhood started giving them away, and then people are like, "Oh, what is this garbage?"
All right, we'll look into that. What's the ticker symbol?
Ticker symbol is TXMD.
Texas Medical Department. No, TXMD. Therapeutics MD.
Yeah, T from back in my psych days. TX was what you would write for treatment. Like symptoms would be SX, take treatment TX, prescription RX, whatever.
All right.
Yeah, so it does seem like TXMD. I bought a whole bunch of BlackBerry shares also for some reason.
The phone app?
That makes sense. Yeah, totally.
The phone?
Because I like charts like this for my year.
Oh my god, yeah. You're the queen of wow.
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years looks kind of wild though.
I don't understand why we have to say this isn't investing advice. I mean, when you're a stock picking genius.
I want the charts to go. Like,
we need to start a short fund. We'll just short anything that. Maybe we should short anything that Robinhood gives you for free.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've got a couple of them that they gave me for free. TXMD, CPRX. So it's supposed to be like they're giving you a stock that's worth like $5, right? So TXMD now worth $1.92. The CPRX, that one is now worth $14. So that's
tripled
up.
Not bad. Wow.
Ooh. And I paid $0 for it.
That's an infinity return.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. Infinity return. Doge.
That's how you get rich, Kalyn. You invest in things that go up in infinity.
I should have sold Doge off last week or April because I was up, but now I'm down.
Damn.
Oh well. Kind of.
That's called parabolic right there. That's what I want uranium to do right there, what you just showed me. But we'll see. It will. Litecoin
also is a kind of.
Which one is that?
This is Litecoin, LTC.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I don't own very much of that one. I own $82 of that one. Only lost $50 on that.
All right. Well, we've picked our stock. We have our homework for next week. We're going to investigate Therapeutics MD. We're going to finish our letter to...
put together the petition to... Mountain Dew.
We'll figure out our pictures and our theme music. We will invest.
I think that was my understanding. I was supposed to be picking at or looking into theme music, wasn't I? Yeah.
You're also gonna bring your nuclear arms by country chart. We are gonna put $1,000 into Eagle Pharmaceuticals. I'm gonna try to figure out what the name of that program was to turn warheads into power supply. And listeners, your homework is to rate, review, and subscribe.
It's a great rating.
It turns out it doesn't matter if you give us a great rating or not. We're going to end up on your feed, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, nothing you can do about it. You listen to it once, now you're stuck with us.
See you later, my listeners. Bye.
Bye.